Welcome back to Due South Sips and Travel Tips. I'm Nina V. King DuPont, and this is Hamilton Picard DuPont, and we have kind of an impromptu video for you today. So, as you all are aware, a lot of people in my VIM, Valentina Imperial Riviera Maya, Uncensored Facebook group that I founded and moderate with another moderator. Her name is Harriet. I'm getting a lot of posts in there and DMs about the upcoming hurricane that is headed towards Riviera Maya, Playa del Carmen, etc. I'm also seeing a lot of chatter about it in the Jamaica groups that I'm in and the DR groups that I'm in. And it's definitely, in my opinion, headed towards the Riviera Maya, Playa del Carmen area. If I were you all, I would cancel and I would rebook. That's just my opinion. If I was booked for this week, I would not go. But I think this video is also important because I'm going to talk about travel insurance. I've not done that before, and I'm going to talk a bit about what happens after a hurricane. So first of all, let's talk about travel insurance. I personally book that on my own. If you do use an agent, you can book the travel insurance through an agent. Oftentimes they'll use, like I said, they use a third-party operator like Travel Impressions or Amstar or Apple, and they usually will offer their own kind of travel insurance. That's fine, that's dandy. However, y'all know I usually book a lot of things on my own, and even if I do book a resort through an agent, I still piecemeal everything else. And I personally always have used Alon's. I will link their information in the description box below. I had a situation a few years ago in Huatuco, Mexico, on the way home where we did get grounded in DFW for a number of days, and Alon's completely refunded my hotel expense, my Uber expense, my food expense. They did everything but alcohol, and I always book that mid-level travel insurance. And I do that for a number of reasons. One, in case there's a hurricane. Two, in case I go into a coma while I'm in Mexico or the DR, and my Blue Cross Blue Shield is not going to cut it in the DR, right? So you want to book that travel insurance. Now, you can book this travel insurance anytime at all, 24 hours prior to your trip. However, if there's a hurricane approaching, you have to book that travel insurance or get that travel insurance like 24 hours before, or you have to do it before the hurricane is named. So let's pretend like I'm going to go to Valentine this Wednesday, and I'm going to get that travel insurance after I book. It's not going to matter because the hurricane's already been named. All right, so that's not going to cut it. You have to buy the travel insurance before the hurricane is named, okay? So highly recommend you booking that travel insurance in advance, preferably like as soon as you know your dates. Now, your girl is not always great about it. I typically book it like a week before, something like that, but I usually know if a hurricane is going to be on the way, that kind of thing. I really make sure about the weather. I do travel all the time to the Caribbean, as you all know, year round. I don't care if it's hurricane season or not. I mean, hell, it's always hurricane season, right, in the Caribbean, so whatever. But yeah, that's definitely a pro tip that I have, is book that travel insurance 24 hours prior. You can Google just, travel insurance USA, travel insurance UK, wherever you're at, and I just prefer Alon's. I endorse them. I back them. I've had great experience with them. They sent me a check like a month or two after our Huatuco debacle. And then every other time I've gone back, I always make sure to get that travel insurance. I mean, I've heard nightmare stories about people getting super sick. In fact, I have a friend that he got really, really sick in the DR and was in the hospital almost the entire time that he was in the DR. So you just never know what's going to happen. So with all that being said, I wish you well, and I really hope that if you do choose to go during this time, that the resort will make sure that you're safe. They usually put you in a ballroom, or they put you in some kind of sequestered area for 24 hours prior to the hurricane and after. I have lots of resort friends that have been in the situations where they have been in a hurricane at resorts, and they've always been safe. I've only had one friend that had a not so great experience with that. So Personally, if I knew there was going to be a hurricane, I would not travel, but that is just me. Lastly, definitely make sure that you're watching the resort groups after the hurricane happens. Okay, Greg and I got into an experience in the Dominican where we traveled to TRS Cap Cana right after a hurricane, and the resort should not have reopened. It was in really bad shape. Only one bar was open, y'all, and only 2 restaurants, and they should not have reopened that resort. So I am definitely going to be watching the resort groups and ensuring that everything is the way it should be before I book anything else down to Mexico, DR, Jamaica after this hurricane, because I don't know what resorts it's going to hit. I don't have a great feeling about it as far as the Riviera Maya, Cancun area goes. So definitely make sure you're watching that and you're asking all the right questions, and people will start posting pictures and things like that. So highly recommend you do that piece. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you do have any questions about hurricane experiences in or at a resort, or if you have questions about travel insurance, please drop them in the description box below. And my next video is about Playa del Carmen. I'm about halfway through editing that piece now, so definitely looking forward to bringing that content to you all. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. It's the only way we're going to grow. It's the only way we're going to continue to bring you this amazing all-inclusive resort content and all of these pro tips. Until then, don't forget that experiences are greater than material things. And Hammy and I will see you in a video.